Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. We are back on the Rover 75 Trading Up series. In the previous video you saw that we've done all the interior bits and pieces, so it's now about time to set our attention to the mechanical work. Let me turn you around and hopefully we can devise a plan to get the rest of the work done on this, so we can get it down the road, get it road tested, get it MOT'd, and then we can get it cleaned and get it sold. Right, there we are. We're back on the ramp in the other corner of the workshop. As I say, all the interior bits have all been done. We are still waiting for that centre console trim to turn up. God knows where it's gone to. It's probably lost in the post somewhere. But we have got a list on the other side of stuff to do. So all the bits that are not ticked. If you look back a couple of videos ago, you'll see that we went through this car and gave it a bit of an inspection. That did have about 7 or 8 months of MOT on it at the time, but it's taken so long to get to this point, just been so busy, etc, etc, etc. Not going to bore you with all the details and all the excuses, but we need to crack on, get it done. I've got my eyes set on another vehicle ready for when this sells, so we can keep this series going. Again, I want to trade up to a Rover, not a Rover, an MG ZT 190 Tourer. So the estate version of this in the MG with the V6 190 engine in it. That was the main goal. It's sort of like moved a little bit now in the sense that I want a Rover 220 GSI. So it's got the 2 litre Tomcat turbo engine in it. So that's where I want to move up to. But before I move up to that, I'm still going to continue and get that 190 estate Tourer and then decide what we're going to go through from there. As you can see, I've had the wheel repaired. It's got the old tyre on it. It holds there. That's perfectly fine. So that's on there now. I have got some new centre caps to replace all the centre caps, but I don't think they're quite right. I don't think they're for these wheels. They were cheap on Rimmer Brothers, so I got them. Right. I think the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to give it a basic service. So fuel filter, engine oil filter, air filter, cabin filter, and then obviously check all the other oil levels, screen wash, all that sort of jazz. We'll get that out of the way with first because that's the nice easy bit. And then I think what else we got to do? We've got to do the track rod ends. We've got a pair of track rod ends to do. Got a rear exhaust box to do as well, which sort of like comes down to the middle of the car somewhere, I believe. Fog light to do. That's all hanging out. So yeah, we're just going to crack on. Again, this isn't a how-to video. We're just going to crack on, get some jobs done, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll be good to get ready to get it detailed. Right, so the other thing we've got to do is we need to remove all this old wiring as well. I think I went to some kind of DRL lights at the bottom here. There's a load of wiring hanging at the bottom. Again, if you look at the last episode, you see that I found this wire behind this dash. It's light brown wire. No idea where it goes to, so hopefully we'll investigate and see where that goes to. But that goes behind the fuse box inside. So we'll see what that do, and if we can remove it, we will remove it. So I think we'll just crack on. Engine oil filter here. We've got the fuel filter here. Air filter here. The cabin filter is underneath here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this scuttle out and give it a good old vacuum and see if we can wash it through, make sure the drains are clear, because these are quite common. Oh, that's broken already, look. These are quite common for the scuttle to get filled up with water and pour into the cab. So as you can see, there's loads of leaves here. We'll get all these vacuumed out of the way. I've got a load of bits, all genuine Rover stuff. So that's a fuel filter, oil filter, air filter, cabin filter, tie rod end nut. Got a cheap fog light. So yeah, we'll just crack on, get it done. I'll set you up. But again, I'll just put some snippets in just so you can see what we're doing basically, but this isn't a how-to. Yeah, we're just going to crack on, get everything serviced and go from there. You can see it's not blocked down there. Well, it's not wet anyway, but you can definitely see that little black grommet thing just down here is absolutely chocker full of dirt. Yeah, I can't even get my finger in there properly. So yeah, we'll hoover all this out and then we'll just chuck a little bit of water down there and see if it drains out. Right, we've got all that cleaned out. As you might not be able to see, but you can see daylight through that now. I blew it out with an airline, got rid of all the crap that all came out the bottom, flushed a little bit of water down there, so that all, I know now that all drains out. And we've got a nice new cabin filter in there. So yeah, just in case of just putting all that back together, I might get rid of some of this green with some all-purpose cleaner, get the scuttle back on, and then we'll move on to the next bit. Right, with the service out the way with, we can now crack on and do a track rod end. So first thing to do is to whip the old wheel off. Right, so really quite straightforward to be honest with you, if it all comes apart. So we've just got this nut to do. As you see, the old thread's a little bit on the ropey side. Nut looks to be in good condition, so hopefully that'll come out all right. And then we've got to crack this little nut off, but it looks like that's already been cracked off because look at the gap. That's probably what our play was more than anything. But yeah, right. I think what we'll have to do is we'll just get some spray on there, a little wide brush, give that a clean up, whip that off, and then see if this track rod end will unscrew. If not, we'll have to, yeah, we'll see what we can do with it. Let's say that just looks a bit suspect that nut is like all the way there, and I can't turn it, but I can turn the track rod on the thread, so hopefully that will come out okay. Right, lube, wide brush, nut off, unwind. Let's see if we can free that off. Right, I've got a new track rod end. This comes from Rover Brothers, and as you can see, it's a BGA one. I guess they don't do genuine ones anymore, but yeah, BGA is a good make, so not too worried about that. And also if I can get hold of them, I like to replace the actual nut itself, just because you do it properly, I say. I'm just going to let it cool down, and then we're going to crack on. We'll get some grease on the threads on here, wind this up and down a couple of times, screw in the new track rod end, and then hopefully that'll be job done. And just like that, that's all back together again. It's all tightened up okay, all torqued up to spec and stuff like that. We will have to have the old tracking done, so hopefully that will all be good. Next thing is we'll put the wheel back on and see if these wheel centre caps fit. Right, out of all the centre caps, I have one missing, and I was trying to get the missing centre caps. Another one. So I've got 3 centre caps, but I was trying to find the missing one from this wheel and couldn't find it anywhere, because obviously we had problems with this wheel that had a buckle in it because it hit a curb, and the spare wheel was on here, and I sent this away, had it done, and then swapped the bag over, blah 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 blah. Spare is now back in the boot. So again, coming a bit off topic, but trying to find the centre caps for this, and I found these on Rimmer Brothers, brand spanking new, set of 4, and I thought ideal. All the centre is absolutely lovely, nice and black. You can see the Rover, you can't see the other ones. It's got the dimples on it, which my original ones don't, but I don't think that they fit. Try and line up I think they're, yeah, they don't fit a bit on the baggy side. So I'm not sure if we can open these tangs up a bit and get it to clip in place, but yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to open these tangs up, get these clipped in place. So I'd rather have a set of nice centre caps on with the Rover logo on than trying to find a second-hand one, again with the faded centre. So bear with me. I'm just going to bend these tabs and see if it then fits. So what I'm doing, I've got a pair of pliers, and just right at the base, just bend them out. Don't worry, I didn't break it. Pliers just slipped. But just bend them out slightly. Hopefully. Bit too much actually. Right, I can't actually get these on. Well, I can, I got it on once, and that was a nice flush fit, but any pressure, and that just pinged out. So I don't think these tabs are quite deep enough, as well as being too short into the wheel. So let me get the other cap off and we'll compare the two. This is set in a lot deeper than this one. Don't know if you can notice that. But where it sits on the face of the wheel there, this bit here is in a lot more than that bit there. So I think that is the issue. So if anyone wants a set of hubcaps for whatever wheels these are for, hit me up. But as you can see, we've got part number on here now, and this one's got a part number RRJ 100 100, and this is 100 110 MBS. MBS is just a paint colour basically, and this is XXX, which is just primer, but it's been painted with a new thing in it. So let me get on to the internet, get my words out, and see if we can find another hubcap for this. It might be a case of we can pick the centres out of these and put onto the old hubcaps to make them look a little bit nicer. What do you reckon? Right, I just took the Rover logo badge off and stuck it on the old trim, and I think once these wheels, this is just all dirt here. I know these wheels aren't in the best condition. I'm not willing to have the whole set powder coated because that just eats into the profit basically. But at least that makes it look a lot tidier than the old ones. So I can utilise, I think them hubcaps were like 15 quid a set, you know, genuine Rover ones. So I just picked the badge off them because you look on the internet on eBay and a set of badges is going to cost you 15-20 quid. So we'll just use the badges off them. And I'll see if I can get hold of another hubcap to fit on this wheel here. So next thing is to, I believe, sort this exhaust box out. I think it's going to be the next job. So let's go next door. I think this one hasn't been cut. Yeah, normally there's a join in the middle here somewhere. So we're going to have to cut this one off. I think I've got a new clamp or new strap. So we will grab the new part and yeah, see what it entails. Well, I know what it entails, but you might not do. So I'll tell you what it entails. Right, I've got the exhaust resting because we need to cut the old one because from factory, because this hasn't had an exhaust in its life. The factory one goes straight from the turbo all the way to the back box, one complete unit. So you're going to have to cut into the old exhaust to take the new exhaust. So I've got obviously the new exhaust. I think it's just a Euroflow one. I can't remember where I got it from, if I just got it off eBay or if I got it from Wimmers. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it comes with a bracket, but I haven't got the clamp to clamp this up. So we're going to have to measure that and just order a clamp. But I don't stop us from fitting it because we can fit the clamp on afterwards anyway. I've got the exhaust resting on old Jackie Trans, so we can match the old pipes up. So I'll try and get it as close as possible. I think that's a little bit too forward at the minute. So we're just trying to get it nice and even to where all the bends are, and mainly that bit there, to be honest with you. And then hopefully that won't clonk me on the old head, and we can mark where this exhaust comes up to. So all you need to do is mark. Oh, I've got a pen lid in my mouth, trying to hold the camera. Not really too sure how I'm going to do this. Right, so you start marking. You need that part of the exhaust to fit inside that part of the sleeve. So we want to mark in between, so like there and there, so it sort of lands in the middle, if that makes sense. So I don't have to be an exact science, but it's got to be relatively good. So we'll mark it like 2/3 down, I reckon. And then you can either cut that with a angle grinder or sawzall, or You can buy these things, like a chain that wrap around, and you can just like wiggle it backwards and forwards and that cut in. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that. I'm going to remove the old exhaust because it's a bit of a job to remove the old exhaust because it's so rusty and corroded. Trying to pop it all out of the clamps that you can't really see because they're all tucked up behind the bumpers and stuff like that. Might be able to undo that and snap the old strap. Well, as you can see, it's in very poor condition. Managed to get the bolt out that hold the strap in. So yeah, not really much left of that, is there? It's all on the floor. And we've done the cut at that end. So just use the old Zawzor and hopefully we can put you somewhere. So follow the trail of the exhaust. Nice big hole there, nice big hole here. So yeah, definitely needed doing. Nice shiny new one. And then we've got left here the bracket. So hopefully we can get this one out, get that one in and slot the new exhaust in. Right, one exhaust now fitted. Had to do a little bit of trimming around the bumper. We'll just clean them up with a file in a minute. I think I've bought one for a Mark 1 instead of a Mark 2 because the Mark 1 obviously has to cut out on the bumper and then the tailpipes stick out, but it is what it is. It's an exhaust at the end of the day, but we've got the clamp on, all fits up lovely, and I managed to steal a clamp from next door so we can finish it off. But yeah, as I say, it's only a little cheap old exhaust. I can't remember how much I paid for it. Right, a couple of little jobs that I've done just off camera. I just went to fit this light, and it is indeed the same as the old light and in the same orientation. And what I found out was that if I can get a light, the actual plastic housing that holds the fog light and then it attaches to the bumper, you can probably see a little bit of white tiger seal there. So I've just tiger sealed that over to the bumper. That's just plastic welded anyway, so at some point I think it might have got hit. Well, you can see it's been hit along here, so I've just tiger sealed that up and just clamped that in place. So that is done. Just wait for that to go off and we can fit that fog light. I've got down auxiliary belts to do. Now the alternator belt looks like brand new, but the aircon belt, there's a couple of little cracks in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a couple of little cracks, but again, that's not going to break or fall off. So I think I'm going to leave that. Look like it's had a new alternator at some point. Excuse the cobwebs. But yeah, that ain't a 5-minute job to fit that, unfortunately. So if that was, then I'd probably do it. But for the sake of the cost of a belt, again, it's one of them things of how much do you spend on getting it right, if you know what I mean. Do you make it a minter or do you not? It's not a mint car. So again, we've just done the old brake pipes all round, front and rears. Again, if you look at the first video on this, you'll see that. I can get up into. You can see we cleaned them up, and there wasn't no pitting or anything. That's just a bit of flaky paint. So we just cleaned them up, a little bit more stone chip on there, and we done them all round. So all good. Right, now we can get it down and see what else we can do on the job list. Right, so we've got a couple of little jobs left to do now. Adjust a part brake, offside repeater bulb. Again, I've got the indicators on, so we'll get to that in a second. That's the next job. Engine no power. Can't really do that until we can get it on the road. Again, I've got the clamp on the fog light thing, so it ain't going to be dry till a good couple of hours yet. Wheel center cap, still waiting for that. Polished headlights, will do that in the detail. And that is pretty much it. So crack on, we'll do this offside repeater bulb. Just the part brake, I don't know why I've put that on, because it isn't like there's loads of play in that. So I think we'll wait until it goes for MOT and then see what the readings are. If it needs a little bit of a tweak, then it needs a little bit of a tweak. But we'll get this offside repeater bulb sorted, and I've got some nice new number plates to fit on as well. So just in the boot here, you can see it's not working. This one's working. I've got the hazards on. So hopefully we can just flick a new bulb in there. To be fair, I don't look that old or broken. So maybe there's another fault somewhere. Got wire clipping here, so push lock in there, probably for the parking sensors. Let's get a new bulb and get it fitted in. And there we go. Obviously just a bulb, so got a full set of working lights now, ready for MOT. Right, not that you're going to see much here, but obviously this is the front plate. There isn't nothing wrong with the front plate, just the back plate. Really, still perfectly readable, but there is a crease on here where the sticker's starting to come off the backing. So we've got a nice set of new plates, and they're contoured for the Rover 75 as well. We'll get these ones off and we will swap them over. Right, shiny new front number plate on there, and if we go around the back, again a proper Rover 75 spec number plate for the back. So nothing spectacular, just a standard number plate. Didn't have anything special apart from the border. Just think it made it a little bit classier on something like this. But I am thinking that every time I do a trading and up car, I'm thinking about doing the little Rover Works logo at the bottom, just because, why not? The only other thing that I've done is we've now fitted this front fog lamp, so that's all nice. And what else have we done? We've fitted the under tray, so that's all now back on. So the only thing really that I'm waiting for is the centre cap for the other wheel. That should be in a couple of days. I'm waiting for a nut down here because I had to rob one. Right, as I was saying, heater cut in, so apologies for that. So I had to rob one of these for a customer's vehicle because they're an odd size, like an M7 nut, weird old size. So I've robbed one off this one and just forgot to order one. That was like a couple of months ago. So I've ordered another nut, and then we've got the cover to go on top of that as well. I keep having to charge the battery up. I mean, I had it on charge all night yesterday, or all yesterday and all night last night, and I literally had it disconnected today and the battery was already flat, so just not enough to start it and crank it over. So I think I'm going to have to buy a new battery for that. The other thing that we've sorted out now is we have finally got the center console / ashtray with a cigarette lighter, and it's actually got the insert for the ashtray as well, so that's a nice little touch. So in the meantime, I thought I'd just chuck it on the old computer and hopefully we can see if there's any faults, because obviously we've got the engine fault, like there's no turbo boost whatsoever, and we need to reset the servers anyway. Let's turn that off. Right, so let's do a scan. Right, so we've got a few faults. Don't think there's anything really. BCU got some few. So let's just go into engine, 2-litre diesel, and just see what the specific faults are in here. So glow device, electric fan, pre-supply, monitoring pressure. So I'm pretty sure I put this on before and that came up with like boost pressure or something. We'll clear them anyway. See if anything comes back. I think what we'll do is we'll do another scan car and then we'll just do a global clear or global wipe and see what happens. But as I say, it almost seems like there's no boost pressure, and I thought I'd put this on the P scan last time and that came up with a boost pressure solenoid. It is running a little bit low on old diesel as well, so I think what I might do is I might take a jerry can home tonight, put 20 litres of diesel in it, chuck it in, and then because we're pretty much done with all the work on the ramp, is I'll get off the ramp and we'll stick 20 litres of diesel in it and then go for a little road test jolly. I don't know what's happened to this. I think it's just crashed. This TOF tool is really good, but it's quite unreliable, or the connection stability isn't the greatest, shall we say. So yeah, bear with me and we'll come back once if I've found anything, basically. Right, so just trying to diagnose this low power situation. I stuck a brand new battery in here, if I can get the old cover off. Brand new Bosch battery, 100 quid worth, only the best. So it's like when you rev it, free rev it, it's absolutely flat as a pancake. So I know from experience it's normally the MAF sensor, so I've unplugged the MAF sensor and it revs absolutely fine. Smoke, a lot of black smoke out the exhaust, but revs absolutely fine. So I just pulled the old MAF sensor off. One of the bolts were missing and one of the clips were missing for the pipe, but that don't look too old to me, and suggesting that one of the clips were missing and one of the bolts were missing, that it's already been replaced. So anyway, I think they've just replaced the actual cartridge bit instead of the whole thing. I'm just going to order a complete unit. Bosch ones are about 200 quid. I'm not going to go for Bosch one, just going to go for a nice cheap and easy one off eBay. I think they're about 50-60 quid. So hopefully that will solve our issue. Now, as getting to a point now where we come to the end of this video, I'm not going to include the fitting of that MAF sensor, purely because I'm moving house and it's going to drag on a little bit. It's going to take a couple of days, and that's right in the mix of when I'm going to be moving house. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this video out now. We'll get it edited, get it out there, and then we'll have a little update. We've got to clean it all, get it for an MOT anyway. So we'll do that as the final video. That'll be a nice short sweet one. I'll probably put some snippets of it being cleaned and stuff like that, and having it polished, just so you can see what we've done it basically. So yeah, I think that is going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you haven't got bored and turned off in the first 30 seconds. Looking at the statistics from the last video when we've done the interior refresh on this, got quite a lot of response off it, so hopefully you'll find this one enjoyable as well. So for now, we will see you later, and we will catch you in the next video.